All right. So I'm Colin. We got Deri, one of the producers and writers of
Dad and the Son, the movie.
yes. We just got done with the screening. Awesome, awesome film. Awesome, very heartfelt, hilarious. Such beautiful characters. And so I just had a question for Deri. What sort of inspired you with this film in its creation?
So Dad and the Son is a film wrote by myself and Elliot Porter. And one of the things of it is we were both having situations with our father, right?
Yeah,
I mean, not our father, but our sons. And
yeah,
as fathers, we were trying to discover what was the best way to raise our sons, what's the best way to talk to them, what's the
right.
best way to get out of those conundrums or those blues of sons not listening. And we sat on the phone for about maybe 4 hours one day,
Yeah,
just talking about what's the best way to raise our sons, what things we was trying, what
yeah,
things. And so we came up with an idea. And El was like, man, we need to write about it.
yeah.
And I say probably in a day or so, he
Mm-hmm.
sent me like 10 pages of what
Yeah.
the movie should look like.
Uh-huh.
And then we started talking some more and some more and some more. And the more we talked, we was coming up with scenes and scenarios of that what we thought the movie should be.
Yeah.
And we started to just write those scenes. Like I would write some, he would write some, and we just kept double teaming, tag teaming like the script until we got done with it.
Okay. Okay. So what would you say? And I love that as far as coming up with that with the idea, the process. So with that, what was the best part of this whole process for you in terms of writing it and then finally seeing it on screen? What do you feel like is the most rewarding part?
The most rewarding part was when El called me and told me he was going to be directing it. He was
Yeah.
like, I think one of the things of it is when El called and was like, I'm directing this. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, good. So
Yeah.
that alleviated pressure off of me to have to direct.
Mhm.
When El called and said, I'm funding this,
Yeah.
that alleviated a lot of pressure off of me.
Yeah.
To have to fund it, to have to go in search of funding,
Yeah.
the all of the stages where the hardest part is in the pre-production, getting the movie to prepare to produce,
Yeah.
getting to edit, and then to distribute it.
Right.
That's the hardest part,
Mhm.
is getting it prepared. So I think that's one of my most rewarding part was watching him take this movie and just champion all the way through. And
Yeah.
now I get an opportunity to show it, and then in the process of showing it, I get the opportunity to explain the process of how we did it. So because I was there every single step of the way of how the process went.
Yeah.
So I think the most rewarding part is not the finished product, but because I could literally see me and my wife on screen,
Yeah.
just in terms of how she is with her son,
Mhm.
or just how Eleanor was with our son.
Yeah.
I get to see that part.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. One last thing. Anything else you want to say about the film to the people? Who, I know it's not officially out yet, but
Yeah.
anything you want to say in terms of like, okay, what people should look out for? Just anything you want to say to them?
Well, I think it's really important for people to understand what Dad and the Son is. It's action, right? So it's like verbs. Like dadding is a verb, which means that you're purposefully fathering a child. Like you're purposefully like guiding them. You're purposefully like leading them. You're purposefully sharing your history of who your father is and what they are, and all of the jewels and all of the gems. Now, sonning is a totally different thing, because sonning requires a son to follow. It requires them to be led. It requires them to utilize all of the resources and all of the gems and all of the tools that they are given. But it requires both parties. And I think that's the part that, what you saw in the film was like the father wasn't really guiding the son.
Yeah.
But what he did was he was imparting so many wisdom, so many jewels on him.
Yeah.
And he was providing resources to him as well.
Mhm.
Not just the stories that he, shared with him, but he was telling him like, look, this is my life story. Don't use my life story to benefit you financially.
Yeah.
Use my life story to help you. He was telling him like, use my life story to enhance your life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest takeaway from this, Colin, is not just the father played the most important role with the son and how the son changed, started to change over time, but how big the mother part was,
Yes.
in spearhead and challenging both father and son to have a relationship that they both can benefit from.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from the movie, like how much the mother really did enhance the entire film.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I definitely agree. The mother was definitely a part that I think she really was the glue that held everything together. Yeah.
She's the actual anchor to the entire film.
Yeah.
Like she anchored the film down. So she held it down, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
By Cherie Bynum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome performance.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you, Deri.
You're more than welcome, Colin. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that you get an opportunity to watch Dad and the Son In by Deri Tyton and Elliot Porter, because it's definitely a treat for you.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you.
All right. Peace.